Happy Halloween, everybody, in advance. Look at that, I got 2 kisses today when I came in here. Nice.
There's a joke in there
Trick or
somewhere.
treat. I guess the park budget is
more
too
than the last
doggone
2 months.
high.
I was gonna say that.
That'd be something, you know.
Under wraps, please.
All right,
So many
the
things.
Parks Committee meeting will now come to order. In attendance, we have Dave Dennig, Brian Danziger, Joseph Moore, and myself, Jerry Wisbiski, and our fine staff. I would entertain the approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 30th, 2015.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Adoption of the agenda. Do I have any desires to change the agendas? All right, entertain a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt. It's presented. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we move that the agenda is approved. Number 1, discussion and action on request by the Green Bay Fire Department to install an emergency siren at Red Smith Park. And I see we have our fine chief here tonight. He lives over there, by the way. He's really in contact with a bunch of great people over there. All right, staff.
Can't have
Okay,
us candy.
as
Okay.
presented here, the fire department did approach the park department about installing an emergency siren in Red Smith Park. As you can see by the maps, we gave you some maps here in front of you.
Dead zones.
The existing map location, there's a large gap in the Red Smith area for notification in the event of a tornado, severe weather, or other emergency situations. The park location was chosen. If you go to the other handout that we gave you, you can see,
It's in your agenda packet.
Ah, got it.
okay? This location was chosen because it's owned by the city, has available power, and is centered in an area that needs this notification. The park staff met with Chief Linton out and selected the location. The siren would sit on the top of a 55-foot tall wood post, kind of like what we got for the hockey lights there. We would be looking at the northeast corner of the hockey rink. There are already, here Jerry, you can share mine with me.
Okay.
There are already 2 wood poles that we have in that area, so we didn't think putting a third one there would be so obvious. And that's what we're suggesting, that it goes there.
Okay.
When we did the lights, didn't NWTC assist with putting in the poles for the lights?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, can we get that again?
We'd have to ask them. It's dependent on their class load, and they usually plan for it a few months in advance, so I'm not sure if they'd be able to assist or not. We can look into it.
It's probably worth asking.
Okay, good point.
Chief, I want to talk.
I believe we have a chief here that wants to speak to this, and chief would just step up and just
Sure.
give us your name and address for the records here, basically. Appreciate it.
David Litton, I'm the fire chief. My home address is 2847 Durham Road, right across the street from Red Smith Park there, and that is not the basis for this request.
No, it seems rather suspicious.
Right?
I
If
noticed
you-
it was questioned quite a
I
bit.
provided you with some larger scale maps there showing current locations of sirens throughout the city. And you can see that there are, especially out on our east side of the city, there are large areas that are by computer model not able to hear an outdoor warning siren. And so because we have such a large population there, we have a school with 1,200 kids in it, we have park activities out there daily. There's a preschool in the area, we've got a church, and I could go on and on and on top of the large population in the area. We thought we'd start with that one. The park was chosen again, Donnie's already covered that, just because it's in the gap area, so to speak. We have power, we own it, and we don't have to go through trying to get an easement or buy property or negotiate with somebody in order to put a siren in. The sirens typically sit on top of a 50-foot pole at 50-foot height. There are 3 manufacturers out there that I'm aware of. We have the specs on all 3. We will take it to bid. There is one type that is a fixed mount where it does not rotate. It just has a 360-degree pattern that gives off the sound. The other 2 models actually spin on top of the pole. So there is the additional possibility of putting some lighting if you wanted to light up some area of the park on here as well on this 3rd pole. That would be fine. But I would tell you that, just from the council perspective, going forward next year into bonding, I'll be asking for 1 or 2 more sirens. Emergency management falls under the fire department. I am the emergency management director for the city by ordinance. And so we have these gaps, and so I will be looking to start to fill those gaps in over the next 2 to 3 years.
Great, okay. Appreciate your attention to this, because I did bring it up, and at the request of one of my constituents in that area, and we did discover that zone really being empty, and there was quite a bit of interest once the people over there found out about it, and basically the neighborhood association themselves, and spent the evening with them on the phone and back and forth on Facebook of all things last night. Their main issue was that nobody told them that it was coming. And for the record, I have told these people that, but I didn't probably get to all of them. But I did not even know it was going there myself. I first knew about it yesterday when I finally got my packet that was supposed to be at my house on Saturday morning, but we have been having mailing problems internally. So I honestly did not have that information, so there was no way I could even inform them, or even knew they wanted to be informed, because they really had, somebody over there had asked for it. I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody who lived in that area. That's how we came up with this request, and I appreciate you taking care of it for us.
Sure.
Do I have any? Yes.
Just quickly, was this the siren that was funded with the surplus money from 2014?
I know it's in the bonding. We bonded for $30,000. That was to cover the cost of the siren plus installation. So, whatever we can
Okay.
negotiate as far as if WTC can come out and install, and in fact, if it's going to take several months for their request, we're past tornado season at this point. I would hold off till spring if we could get them on their schedule, if that works into the installation process. But we do have to run power out there. I've been working with Public Works. We're not sure if they're going to be able to do the electrical connection part of it or not. We may have to bid that as well. Still working with Steve Grenier on that. So,
Well, I appreciate you looking at it. I've got one siren and no fire departments in my district, so
yeah,
I'll be in touch.
The other comment, the other comment I would just put out there for the record is this, as we're looking on the east side, and we've already got the one, planned development out there, but as we look at those going forward, I would say that we should stipulate that as part of their plan development to, if we've got a gap there, to have them purchase and install the sirens themselves.
We already really do have a gap out there, and that's a good spot. In fact, I asked for one to be out in that area, because it's definitely a big opening. Yes, Brian?
Actually, yeah, I remember we had a presentation from Brown County Emergency Management, I believe, last spring or maybe even last winter.
Mhm.
Do we coordinate with them at all on this location, just to
Yeah,
confirm and validate?
the city owns our sirens,
Mhm.
and once we install them, they actually pick up the maintenance on them
Correct,
from that
correct.
point forward.
That's
So,
why I was wondering if we have
yes.
to coordinate with them at all on
Yes,
that?
we had their folks in from the county. They actually sat at the table when I met with Donnie and Dan.
Perfect.
We had Public Works at the table, just trying to coordinate. I had Kim before she left, just to make sure that we had no zoning issues. So I think we're squared away. I just needed your approval, and then I'll.
Fair enough, just to make sure that we kept them in consideration, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No further questions, thank you, Chair.
All right.
Any further discussion?
Move to approve the request.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes.
Good deal.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much. Did
Chief.
you have something to say, Mark? Okay.
Not yet.
I thought I saw you raise your hand.
Second
so,
that.
All right.
Are there any
And it would be,
conditions on it?
yes.
Okay. We knew there would
Provision
be.
on all costs being provided by the fire department, and all proper permits and insurance obtained.
Don't need a whole lot.
Fair enough.
And one more thing, would you please notify the Red Smith Neighborhood Association that this was approved tonight? I don't see anybody here
Sure.
from there, so they want to be informed of everything we do at City Hall.
We did talk about this back, I did bring this up back in August at the Police and Fire Commission. It's recorded in their minutes as well, and it was also recorded at our bonding meeting at the City Council, so when we were talking about that. So just for,
Yeah.
it has been discussed publicly previous to this.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you very
Thanks,
much.
Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Great job, as always. Number 2, discussion action on request by the City of Green Bay to modify the existing Fox River Trail easement with Wisconsin Public Service north of Elm Street. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the handout for it.
Okay, got it, thank you.
Okay, on December 11th of 2013, we brought to the Park Committee to approve a grant for the DNR, it was a DNR grant to replace the Fox River Trail from Main Street north to where the East River meets the Fox River. That grant was for $335,000. It was a 50-50 DNR grant with the city's responsibility of $167,500. The city owns the property on the southern half of the reconstructed trail. WPS owns the northern half. The city does have, we currently have a 20-foot permanent easement that our current trail is on, existing. There's an existing dock wall along the easement section. The existing trail was constructed too close to that dock wall. And what we're finding out is we had it sinking and going down, so over the years, the soil just has settled, causing the trail to settle. The city requested that WPS widen the existing trail easement with us and make a few modifications to the language of that original easement. What we talked about was adding an additional 5 feet along the eastern edge of the existing easement, making it a 25-foot wide permanent trail easement. That way we can take that trail and move it away from that dock wall 5 feet out. The original easement, believe it or not, did not allow bicycles to be on the trail. So obviously we want bicycles to be permitted on the trail. The revision will also allow the trail to be widened from 7 feet to 11 feet. Actually, we will make it a 10-foot wide trail in that area. The law department has reviewed the easement and they're comfortable with it and have approved it.
Great, okay. Were you out raking your lawn or something?
No, I got sick from.
You got the same thing?
Yeah, I got sick.
All right,
A
discussion.
bunch of sick people in a room that I had to be in.
Oh. Do we have any discussion on this issue?
No, it looks good. I've even had people comment to me that the trail is too narrow in that section. So it sounds
Good.
like it's a good way to address it. I'll move to approve the request.
All right.
Do we have contingencies?
Nope, we're good.
No? Okay.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Number 3, discussion action, request from Wisconsin Public Service to grant them a 5-foot utility easement adjacent to the Fox River Trail north of Elm Street.
Dan, why don't you go on this?
Okay, so if you look at this same graphic, this colored one here, now the easement we're gonna talk about is next to the blue area, not the green area. So WPS has a parking lot that's constructed just north of Elm Street, adjacent to the existing Fox River Trail. The parking lot's been there for many years. There's a curb for the parking lot that is constructed right up to the property line. Currently, the parking lot is lit by parking lot lighting, and it has been lit for many years. These parking lot light poles were installed on city property, close to the property line, but they are on city property. Since the city is interested in updating the trail easement directly to the north, and that's the one we just talked about, WPS thought this would be the appropriate time to clean up all the easements along the Fox River Trail. And they have requested a 5-foot permanent utility easement to maintain and/or replace these parking lot lights in the future. We weren't able to find any information of how the lights were originally approved or installed on city property, so there's currently no easement in place for these lights. The staff and law department did review this request and the proposed easement, and neither of us has any concerns. And this request will not affect the Fox River Trail reconstruction at all. So our recommendation would be to approve this request.
All right, thank you. Any discussion?
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you. Let's see here. Report of discussion and action on a request by Wisconsin Public Service to grant them a 20-foot utility easement located on parcel number 6H-1036 at the Oneida Greenway.
So I handed out this document, that's this easement, kind of the W-shaped easement. So WPS contacted the city to request a permanent utility easement through this parcel, which is parcel 6H-1036, and it's located in the Oneida Greenway, which is on the far west side of Green Bay, next to the golf course. The proposed easement is 20 feet wide and approximately 148 feet long. The Oneida Golf Course would like WPS to install a 2-inch gas line leading to their maintenance building.
There is currently an existing access drive running through the city's property leading to this maintenance building. WPS is proposing to install the proposed gas line just west of this existing drive, so that's the location that you see marked down on that easement agreement. WPS will be boring this line instead of trenching because the easement crosses a creek and the site is heavily wooded. WPS would like to install the gas line yet this fall if this easement is approved. Staff again has no concerns with this request. The law department is currently reviewing this easement, so what we would recommend is that Park Committee formally approves the easement contingent upon the law department review and approval of the agreement.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Discussion?
I presume that would include all the hold harmless, all the other
Yes,
requirements go
correct.
with it upon their review. All right. Fair enough.
All right, do I have a motion?
Make that motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All right, a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, okay, that passes. Number 5,
It's your district.
report of the purchasing manager. A, request approval to award a contract to replace the hydraulic cylinder in the freight elevator at City Hall to Cone Incorporated, did I say that right, Cone?
Yeah.
Okay. For $37,895 and approval to issue a change order for $13,850 if re-drilling of the cylinder shaft is required. All right.
We have a 55-year-old freight elevator that services the lower level and the main floor. And it's operating efficiently, but the way that the cylinder was designed, it's unprotected. If there is an oil leak and that oil seeps into the ground, we're looking now at a 6-figure repair and restoration project. Apparently, I understand that happened to the water utility within the last few years. So this has been on the Parks Department radar for a couple years, and we went out for bid. We got 3 bids. We deemed one of them non-responsive because they weren't compliant with all of our requirements. We awarded, recommending an award to the low bidder. The contingency comes into place in so much as the contractor won't know if the re-drilling is required for the shaft until they get into the shaft. And so we asked for that contingency bid so that we'll know what that cost is going into the project.
Okay.
This is a, sorry.
Okay, discussion on this?
I got a question.
Okay.
This freight elevator is in a controlled environment and heated, right?
Yes.
Currently?
Yes.
Okay. And to make sure we didn't have an issue with updating the cylinder and having to then heat the,
Mhm.
Oh.
area, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, that's all I had.
All right. Any further discussion? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the award to Cone.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you very much. B, request approval to award a contract for roof repairs at the park shop to the low responsible bidder.
When we did the agenda last week, we did not have the results of the bid. The bids came in on Monday, and I have recapped them for you on the handout there. We received 3 bids for this work, and we're recommending an award to Northeastern Roofing Incorporated for $15,000.
Staff, you have any comments?
This is a roof repair that's located in back of our main building at the park shop. What we used to be what we call the old park shop, and it's for that. Keith, do you want to talk about what the roofing is and where?
The old shop is 60, 70 years old, 80 years old, nobody really knows. Attached to it is an old office addition. That's got a flat roof that needs to be replaced. So we got a contractor out there, we looked at that roof and we looked at the other roofs associated with that whole old shop building, and it's got several additions to it. So we walked it and we found there are about 20 roof penetrations that all need to be recaulked and reset, and some of them closed up. So we put it all together in one package to have one contractor come and do it all.
Any thought given to the configuration of the roof, going from a flat roof to something?
Not really, because this will be a solid flat roof now. It won't have any penetration, so it should last for decades.
Gonna have rubber?
We'll have rubber, PVC rubber coating on it, something that we can repair. But the old shop roof, the big main building, is still in pretty good shape.
Okay.
So this is the first time we've touched that building in 15 years.
Thank you. Discussion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes also.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you very much.
Director's report.
Construction has begun on the installation of the 2 new rides at Bay Beach. The winning pool is already removed, and the ride fittings are currently being installed. The west end parking lot should be completed within the next 2 weeks out there. The Bay Lakes Regional Commission and the DNR coordinated with us to hire a contractor to spray the Phragmites at Bay Beach, which we did on the shoreline. We did that last week. Navarino Park Playground and installation is now completed. The contractor has begun work on the splash pad at Tank Park. This past Saturday at Bay Beach, we held our Bubble Bubble Tour and Trouble Halloween event, which was a great event. We had the Halloween maze, train rides, costumes, Monster Mash dance, face painting,
Candy.
pumpkin bowling, and we had a nice little monkey that attended and had a great time.
That wasn't Joe, was it?
No, it wasn't Joe.
I was with her.
So, actually, over 200-plus people attended the event, so
Great.
we
Fantastic.
were real happy with the event. I'd like to introduce to you Chuck Stengel. Chuck is recently hired as our new senior landscape. You want to come up here, Chuck? In our department. Chuck is a Wisconsin registered landscape architect who has been employed for many years with many landscape contractors, including Tillman, Vanderhey, and Green Bay Nursery. In addition to his experience in landscaping, Chuck also serves as the chairperson of the Little Chute Parks Board. So he actually sits on this side of the table as well, like you guys. So we want to welcome Chuck to our staff.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you
Fantastic.
very much.
Indeed.
He looks so serious, I was
I
wondering.
know.
I get that a lot.
I was afraid to ask, who is this guy?
Welcome aboard, sir. Appreciate it.
Good to meet you again. Welcome aboard.
Oh, here comes something.
Did you want to say anything, Chuck?
I think you pretty much covered it.
All right.
Thank you very
Good.
much. It's
All
nice
right.
meeting you. I look forward to
Thank you.
Great.
Good luck. You'll notice our meetings are nice and easy. It's pretty.
We have
stress-free.
completed the regrading of the hill at Triangle. You know, we put the new lift in last year, and we had to do some work this year. That has now been completed. We need to congratulate our recreation staff, which is James, Jeremy, Ann, and Pat. They were receiving the Silver Star Award for the best program ran in the state of Wisconsin in recreation. They received this award for their Fit in the Parks program. They were chosen for the award due to the overall efforts to reach out and work jointly with the health, wellness professionals and local business to provide this program. So I'd like to congratulate the recreation
Well
staff.
done, guys. Are we planning another Fit Fest next year? Yes. All right, top notch.
All right, also in the area of congratulations, I'd like to introduce to you Sue DeVuren. She is our volunteer over at the Wildlife Sanctuary. She just won the Green Bay Packers Community Quarterback Award for all her volunteering efforts within the community. Sue has been a volunteer for us for over 20-plus years at the Wildlife Sanctuary. So we'd like to congratulate Sue as well.
All right, Sue.
Mr. Ruin, stand up. We'll get to that, everybody.
Thank you for your
Right
service.
there. Actually, can I just comment on that really quick? Just keep standing there, Mr. Bruin. You're doing great.
Give her a hug.
Well, no, Mr. Anderson, you need me that too. That's good. Right there. I just need to comment on this really quickly. I've actually seen Mr. Bruin's volunteer efforts and work firsthand on a number of occasions, and she is not only an incredibly dedicated volunteer who does excellent work for the sanctuary, she is also a great advocate and a fantastic ambassador for everything that the sanctuary does. So not only does she, as the saying goes, put her actions out there, she is definitely a great supporter for the sanctuary who has recruited, I believe, other volunteers, and more importantly, has done a great job, I think, of instilling and inspiring people to come visit the sanctuary because of her dedication. And I know prior to my involvement with the city of Green Bay, I was first exposed to the sanctuary, thankfully, because of Mr. Bruin, and I have become much more of a committed member of that organization because of her efforts. So very well deserved and very happy for you, ma'am. Congratulations.
Cool. All right, thank you.
And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you
Well,
very
we'll
much.
let Mr. I'll receive and place on file,
Oh, okay.
and then Mr. Reed can say something.
I just wanted to add that she'll be receiving the award at the January 3rd game on the field.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, do you need someone to go to that game with you?
Okay, we have a motion, receive and place on file. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. I thought from the high qualifications he was giving, I was waiting to see if you had a license or something for serving downtown.
Move to adjourn, not that. Goodness gracious.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, adjourned.
Committee should go in there to support.